listening to Oilers Nation Radio, a member of the Nation network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Dan, Rick, Tyler, and Bagged Milk starts now.
Ho, 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 Liam.
Merry Christmas, Bagged Milk.
It is a Christmas spectacular edition of Oilers Nation Radio. It's actually Festivus, so we're going to get into some of the feats of strength and grievances. What are you guys laughing at?
Turn off his mic.
I'm so low. And
Which one is his mic?
Trying to
He's on 2.
enunciate all the words I say so I don't mumble.
I don't think the mumbling was part of that review, by the way. I think Tyler just threw that in.
He gets one bad review and he's all of a sudden has to change everything he does.
I did my mouth stretches before the show that Chris, look how low my levels are. Like Chris Durham taught me how to.
Because you're not talking on mic. That's why I'm trying to raise
you're
it
off
up.
mic.
But it's hard with these mic arms.
See? The mic arms. The mic arms are terrible.
We knew this was going to come, Tyler. You knew this was coming.
I'm a fidgeter.
This is why I enjoy holding the mic.
If you watched Oilers Nation every day, you would have known my struggles with the mic arm.
Just keep damn mic in front of you and don't touch it.
No, I want to fiddle.
I'm afraid that if I need to touch it, it's just going to fall off.
It's not.
It is.
It might.
It could.
did.
It fell off last week for me last week.
I was trying to enjoy a delicious ham and Swiss roll. Trying to be very quiet. Move my microphone slightly to the left, and it just went tumbling down.
All of a sudden, boom, chicka wow.
Down it goes.
There goes the mic arm.
Mm-hmm.
Smell you later.
Now Tyler is so rattled he can't even look at us because he knows the mic arms are a problem.
Because it's just whatever. We're done.
See, but the thing is, you don't have to use a mic arm. You have a
I'll
nice.
gladly use one, but this one sits better off camera.
Delicious debate. Which mic arm is better? Let's go.
The answer is none.
It's
Dan.
not a debate.
So you want to hold your mic the whole show?
No.
Huh.
I found I perform better by holding the mic.
Well, if you want to write the article, I would be happy to hold my mic.
I don't want to do that.
Well,
but I'm not the one complaining.
Well, sounds like you are.
Yeah, it sounds like you are.
You're impeding my my creative expression.
I like Tyler's Christmas lights though on his mic.
Yeah, it does look
He's
nice.
festive.
See, I could never do that on my mic arm because they just fall off.
It's way too flimsy for that. You know? Oilers Nation Radio episode 956,000. Bag Milk here. Waz is sitting in for Rick, Liam, Tyler, Dan is on Zoom. We've got plenty to talk about today as we go into the last game before the Christmas break. But first, I want to give a shout out to our friends at DoorDash and Oodle Noodle. Latest location of Oodle Noodle just opened in Calgary early in December. So if you are in Calgary, if you're listening to this, go check that out. I promise you, your mouth feelings will appreciate it. If you're feeling lazy, because it's Friday, and I feel like you've worked enough already this week, order your Oodle Noodle through DoorDash because it's just easy. Cooking's hard. It's a busy week, Liam. Nobody's got time for cooking.
Nobody has got time for cooking.
Nobody. We're going to get into the delicious debate this week, which leads me to old Captain Grumpy over there.
Fuck. Like, what choice do I have? I sit here, I built up this studio with my bare hands, and all anyone ever does is shit on it.
Nobody's shitting on it, just the mic arm
like
specifically.
I think it's a very beautiful studio.
I think it's great.
I still appreciate you, Tyler.
I appreciate Tyler too, just not mic arms.
If you could buy one Christmas present for the Oilers or for one specific Oiler, you can make it up. Could be a real thing, could be a fake thing, don't matter. What would you put under the tree for either the whole team or one player in particular?
Waz, I'm going to start with you because you've got an article going up tomorrow to OilersNation.com about for Santa's wish list from the people.
Yes.
What is the first item on your gift list for the Oilers?
I'm going to go with an unrealistic item and I'm going to get, I don't know if this is possible. Can I give one of the Oilers a health potion, specifically Evander Kane, so his wrist can heal and he can come back?
Yep.
That'd be nice. Something to just heal the Oilers and whoever's injured. I think Kane's the last one.
Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty much healthy now.
Broberg and Murray, but
yeah. Well, Ryan Murray.
Meh.
I mean,
I am concerned about Broberg's ability to stay healthy, low key.
A little bit.
Yeah. But also, I wonder if, with him for instance, I wonder if they're just overly cautious with him because he is so young that they're just like, oh, his shoulder's a bit banged up. Let's just keep him out of the lineup for a few games. Where if that was Nurse or CC, it's he can play through it. I wonder if that's kind of
So you're hoping that this organization has learned that shoulders of our defensemen might be important.
Here's to hoping.
Liam, what's on your wish list? What if Santa's sliding down the chimney?
Ooh.
What do the Oilers get from you, sir?
For Christmas this year, the Edmonton Oilers get from me. Well, Jack Campbell got his new equipment today, so that was.
We're gonna talk about that.
That's a good little Christmas gift. I will go with a little bit more confidence. How about a little confidence under the Christmas tree this year? Yeah,
I feel you.
I like that.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
I like that. Tyler, what is on your Christmas list for the Oilers?
Oh, there's a couple that are just like kind of low hanging fruit. Like I'd love to gift Ken Holland some cap space. Right? I think everyone probably would. Some sort of elixir that allows them to start games on time. That would be just really, really solid as well. Those two are the easy ones. Maybe buy Jesse Puljujarvi, a little bit of puck luck.
Yep.
Maybe buy him a couple sessions with
I just
skills
say
coach.
puck luck in general.
Yeah, why not?
Dan, what do you got? You're asking Santa for a gift for the Oilers. What do you got?
Well, if I'm going to go very specific, I thought of Evan Bouchard right off the top, and he would get Chris Pronger's tenacity for the rest of this season, and he would really lead us into the playoffs. If I'm thinking team wise, I love the idea of like just a hockey bag full of smelling salts that is just dropped right in the middle of the locker room right before game time, and we get going. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, I just had another idea for one.
Go for it.
Oh,
You know that thing from Men in Black that they used to like zap people's memories?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I would use that. I'd give it to Darnell Nurse and I'd say, you use this and you forget about the last 3 months, my good man. And you just blanket and you're like the Darnell Nurse of old again.
Give that to Jack Campbell as well, maybe?
Yeah, probably to Jack Campbell too.
There's a couple of guys who could use the old neuralizer, I think.
That is called the neuralizer. Good job, Bag Milk.
Sorry.
I have a Google machine in front
Never
of me.
seen the movie.
You've never seen Men in
Really?
Black?
No.
To be fair, I haven't either.
Well, that's not surprising to me.
Oh,
What are we doing here?
I don't watch a lot of movies. You guys know that.
Tyler doesn't enjoy fun.
No, I'm just more of a TV show guy.
My girlfriend's mother calls me vanilla because of the lack of shows I've seen and movies. She's I'm very vanilla.
Sweet flex.
Yeah.
So I know.
Bragging about a girlfriend on the show.
Yeah.
This guy talking to girls. Wow. Wow, Waz. If I'm going to give the Oilers something for Christmas, it's going to be a little, I think the confidence would kind of work with mine. A little bit more depth scoring, I think. And it's coming a little bit. Like Janmark, 2 goals on Wednesday against the Stars. Klim Kostin's got a couple now. Yamamoto's got a couple on the board. Yes, Puljujarvi got his second of the season. So I'm hoping it's going to come. But maybe the confidence for the bottom 6, well, depending how the lines are put together, but a little confidence, a little jam, a little extra depth scoring. I think would go a long way.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Would be.
Real nice. But yeah, I think we've started to see a little bit more. Maybe when maybe they get a few more games down the road with these lines right now, and that's when it keeps coming along.
Yeah, I think so. I think a little bit of consistency in the lines will probably go a long way. Let the guys develop a little bit of chemistry, perhaps, instead of just bopping them around all over the place.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on a wish list item for the Edmonton Oilers?
Anything for Jay Woodcroft? Maybe we'd like to get for him.
Ooh,
That's who I was trying to think of.
Maybe
Jay Woodcroft.
some new suits. No, that is bad ones. Just that's wear a suit every night.
Yep. That'd be nice.
A couple more.
You know what? I think like
It's tough.
now that you mentioned Jay Woodcroft, like just kind of like the relaxing of pressure on the guy a little bit. I find that when I'm watching him behind the bench now, as opposed to last year when he came in, he was a lot more active last year behind the bench. He's walking up and down. He's talking to guys. He's patting them on the back. And this, he just seems a little bit more intense this year.
Get him a nice massage.
Maybe that'd be nice. I'll give him one. That's free. That's free for you, Jay Woodcroft.
Hey,
just let me know.
Cash in whenever. You're giving him a book of coupons. He gets a massage, a kiss, a date night.
Sometimes the massage leads to the kiss. So he can use 2 coupons at once if he likes.
2 for 1.
Yep.
I like this idea.
Any other Santa's wish list items for the Edmonton Oilers or even a specific player yet?
We always hear that Devon Shore is the card playing guy with Connor McDavid on the team playing.
Fresh set of cards.
Good in the room.
Yeah, just give Devon Shore a new set of cards because I'm sure he's going to be using them a lot. You know,
Maybe like just a backpack full of board games that Devon Shore can carry around with him. So all of a sudden they're playing like, I know you boys were playing Sequence the other day before the Nation Christmas party. Maybe the boys play Sequence, lighten it up on the plane.
Devon Shore gets a lot of hate for his on ice ability, and it's kind of fair, but he's just a good guy to have around. He cheers up the guys. I remember last year in the playoffs after they defeated Calgary, he was in the room just celebrating with them, even though he didn't play a single game. Like they just like Devon Shore. I don't get it.
I got another one.
Go
for
for
the
it.
gifts. I'm going to give Ryan Nugent Hopkins a bottle of sunscreen.
Why?
Because he's going to Florida in February for the All-Star game, folks.
Nice.
Somebody mentioned to me, I think it might have been someone here, that Stuart Skinner might not actually go as well, do you think?
Stuart Skinner is getting to the point where he feels like a lock. And let me explain.
Go ahead.
Every division has to send 2 goalies because of the 3-on-3 thing. You need 2 of them, right?
Oh, I didn't think about that because last night on Better Late Than Never, I was asked, could Stu make the All-Star game? And then I just looked, I forgot about the division thing.
Yeah.
I just looked at like the goalie stats. And I was like, I get it, but he might not be there yet this year. But I actually like your point here.
So Logan Thompson for Vegas is going to go. He's probably the guy. LA, junk. Seattle, junk. Calgary, Markstrom maybe is starting to come on a little bit, but I don't think here Vladar get in over Skinner. Vancouver, Demko's hurt. They're junk. San Jose, both their goalies haven't been that good. Anaheim, their goalies haven't been good or healthy.
I'd love it then if Stu goes. You changed my mind.
There's a chance it's McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, and Skinner all there at the All-Star
Has
game.
Nuge been to one before? Or was
Yeah,
that a
he's-
Young Stars?
He's
thing?
been to one. I think him, Emily, and Hall went like 3 different years.
Yes,
but
they
in a
did.
row, but they all
Yeah.
got one each. Is that right?
I think so.
I'm pulling up his hockey ref.
Yeah, he definitely has one.
now.
I think you're right. And then I think he was there for the Young Stars thing as well.
Yeah, I think
There
he
you
went
go.
to both. But I think that they kind of ended the streak of Alice Hemsky being the only Oiler that was ever invited to All-Star games.
Hey, Horkoff went that one year.
Skorkov, yeah.
He was never the same after
was
that,
the-
though. He peaked
that
at
was-
the All-Star game.
Is there a year where there wasn't an Oiler in an All-Star game?
Every year there's a
There's
player
always
from
at
every
least
team.
one.
Okay, I thought
But
this
there
one
was-
2015, Nuge went to Columbus for the All-Star game.
There was a year, actually, there wasn't because Hemsky got hurt and they just replaced him with like Patrick Elias or something like
Yeah, I
that.
think that was it.
Ooh, Patrick
Maybe it
Elias.
was.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't him. I can't remember what it was.
What was
Either
it?
way, how many players go to the All-Star game? Like, not like just like per division.
I think that, do they not do 6 forwards and 4 D-men?
I don't
3
remember.
D-men? 6 and
I'm
4?
just trying to think. Like, obviously, the Oilers aren't sending any defensemen to the All-Star
How
game
dare
this
you.
year. Goalies, yeah, we'll probably lock up one of those. Are they gonna take 4 forwards from the Oilers?
Hyman's not an
No.
All-Star this year.
What if he gets the fan vote? What if Nuge,
Not if-
McDavid, and Dry all get in on just being good, and then Hyman gets the fan vote?
So last year, oh, sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just going to say, so Liam's saying we have to start a campaign to get Hyman into the All-Star game.
If Nuge doesn't get in,
We gotta move it.
yeah, then Hyman's the one for me that needs to go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10 skaters go. Last year, the Pacific Division just sent 9 forwards and 1 D-man.
Was it
Hell
Glenn
yeah.
Lawson that was on that one?
Petrangelo. But when you
right,
look at
obviously.
the way the lineup would probably shape up this year, Eichel probably gets in from Vegas this year, first full season. You're going to have a skater from the LA Kings that takes up spot number 2.
Probably
Seattle's,
Doughty.
yeah, probably Doughty is a D-man. Seattle needs to send at least 1 skater as well. Matty Beniers might be the guy there. Calgary's got to send a skater as well if they're not going to send a goalie.
Don't even know who's playing well.
I don't know.
Kadri, maybe?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Vancouver, San Jose, and Anaheim each need to send a skater. You're at 7.
Zegras will go.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
it's just entertaining.
But just from the other 7 teams, all need to have someone out of the 10 skaters. So that takes up 7 of your spots. Nuge, McDavid, Draisaitl. There's your 10 skaters.
I wonder
So
what
how-
Zegras is going to try and do this year. Cause I agree with you that he's
Yeah.
right. Like just the reason I was thinking about him the other day in the All-Star game is after that Timu Hardikainen shootout goal attempt. And it was just completely ridiculous.
I have a take on Zegras.
Go for it.
Oh,
He is Blake Griffin of the NHL.
Oh,
He is the Blake Griffin of the NHL. He is pure entertainment.
he's going to jump over a car.
He's jumping over a car in the shootout. Fantastic. Blake Griffin was great. Really good career. All-star multiple times. One of the best in the league. I think that's just what Zegras will be. He's just going to be the showstopper forever, right?
But there's a space for that now in hockey, and that kind of player can be protected. Whereas I would agree with you if we were talking about this in the 2000s or something, because he was, the old hockey fights fans, they would say that he's going to get his clock clean, but I just don't think that's happening anytime soon. So I think he's pretty sheltered.
So how are they doing the fan vote? Is it obviously there's legit players that are getting picked, right? Like the league is going to pick players.
Yeah.
And then is it like baseball where fans vote for like one player from each division to go?
I really don't.
I would
remember.
assume.
I don't participate in any of these things.
If they were smart,
with
you would have the fan vote go before everybody else. And then that way you could just say that the McDavid or the Zegras vote is the one that you picked. You were forced to pick.
What do you mean?
Because then that way you're not going to get Oiler fans creating a Zach Hyman campaign for the last guy in. But I guess they always do that last person in kind of vote. So
yeah,
who knows?
I like that though, because I think the fan vote for me is just too much. There's some guys that just deserve to be an all-star.
Yeah.
When there's also just like, you can vote 38,000 times from one IP address. And you're like, okay.
I just want to confirm Sheldon Stewart went for the Oilers in 2009.
Oh,
yeah.
Big sexy. Shout out to him.
I think if they're gonna have a last person in, then they'll probably just leave Nuge off of the ballot, like off the original thing, and then make us vote him in.
Damn it.
He should just go. Like, he deserves to go.
I agree with you, Bag Milk, but I think if they're thinking about this, they probably don't want 4 Oilers there, so they would probably risk not having 3 to force us to make them vote.
I don't think Skinner goes, which sounds crazy because he deserves to go, but I feel like it's going to be way easier for them to be like, oh, we'll take James Reimer rather than like missing out.
That's your Demko.
Yeah, I guess.
He's 8th in scoring.
I just meant in general of like one of the bottom teams is probably just going to get a goalie to go.
But that's my point is San Jose is going to get Carlson there. And then the Ducks are just going to send Zegras and not a goalie.
What if they send Gibson?
Demko.
Gibson's been hurt all year.
Demko's hurt also.
Oh, well.
Is he going to be out for the All-Star game?
When is the All-Star game?
I'm just trying to think, like, when is it?
Yeah. It's in February?
It's in February.
Typically, yeah.
So maybe Demko might actually be healthy to Dan's point by then.
Yeah.
And then Vancouver just sends Demko.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I mean, who else are they going to sell? Pedersen,
probably.
Yeah.
He had his flu game in the middle of December.
Speaking of Pedersen, we played him tonight. So
yeah. What is it you said on Oilersnation every day is 5 points in his last 5 games.
Wow.
They were all last night.
It's also very funny too, where we're so spoiled with Connor and Leon, where if a guy has 5 points in 5 games, that's pretty good clip. I know they all came in one game, but like my point
5 points in his last 5 heading into last night. So 10 in his last 5. I was wrong.
Wow.
Oh, so that's
set
more,
me up for failure.
That's really good.
That was very good.
You know what? That's on me.
Well, that was like my point where I was going to be like a point a game. We just kind of like poo it these days because we've got guys that are basically running at a 2 point per game clip.
We do take them for granted.
Mm-hmm. We do. This is my annual Christmas reminder to appreciate what Connor and Leon are doing. All right. I want to hear from you. Owen Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Hit us up. If you are getting Santa to give the Oilers a Christmas present, what would it be? What would it be? Let us know. I want to know. Changing gears a little bit before we talk some more hockey. I want to talk about the Nation Christmas party real quick, just because Waz is in here.
Hey, how's it going?
And the chaos that you caused at the gift exchange.
Yes.
You weren't even a participant, really.
No,
you were
really.
a proxy.
Yeah.
First of all, why didn't you buy a gift for the gift exchange?
I didn't know what to get. I was very confused. It was my first time really doing one of these things, and I just didn't know what to get. It was like a $30 limit, and I thought I did my part well.
How many times did you ask me how that gift exchange worked?
About 3 times.
Yes,
but I
just so the people know, like I did try. I did try.
Yes.
I worked my hardest. We didn't get there, but you've seen it. Now you know.
Yes.
What do you know?
I'm more of a visual, hands-on learner. So,
but to the chaos,
I just don't understand where the confusion came from.
That's what I also want.
Like spend $30 on a gift. You could have bought a 2-6 of something and been done.
I know.
I walked into Walmart, saw they had those slipper massage heaters that were $27. And I thought, oh, perfect. That'd be great for a gift exchange.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. That's all you got to do was.
They literally price that stuff for gift exchanges.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Normally I buy something really ridiculous. This year I bought the penguin onesie was mine this year. But the last time I think Dan got this thing that you put around your toilet so you can go fishing while you're pooping.
Toilet bowl fishing.
That.
Yes.
So, you don't really have to put a lot of thought into it, my guy.
No.
But the good news is that Waz acted as a proxy during the gift exchange and caused all kinds of shenanigans because he stole a gift from Jay, who is all of our bosses, that no 20-year-old would probably want, who is Spencer, who is not here. He does a bunch of the social posts for us. So Waz robbed Jay of a gift, chaos ensued, and we all had a good hearty chuckle about it.
There was like a good probably like 3 minutes of conversation after that, though, as to whether chaos should ensue. Mm-hmm. And then we all agreed chaos should ensue. And I think there was only one gift at the end of it that wasn't transacted at the end of the game.
So, Waz?
Well, I was very close to not selecting that wine opener. I was going for the little present on the table. Maybe I'll go for something. Cause a little chaos, and I went for Jay's little gift. So. For
a guy who did not participate in the gift exchange, you really made it come alive at the end, my friend, and I want to give you some props for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I also want to give a shout out to our friends at Soho just for putting on a good show for us that night. Mm-hmm. Pizza was fantastic. The mood was great, albeit our 6-leg parlay that we put in with our friends at Betway just didn't quite come through for us. We missed 2 legs.
Well, one of them was more forgivable than the other.
Yes.
My pizza ended up on the floor, and that's all I'll say about that.
Yes, it did.
The pizza was mind-blowing.
It was
very good. Fantastic.
Truly blew me away when they came to our table and they asked us to move stuff around so the pizza could fit on the table. And then
I actually wish I took a picture of your face, Liam, because you were just overjoyed with pizza happiness.
I love pizza. I ate so much food I had to leave. I was so full.
Here's a question: How do you eat the pizza there? What's
fold.
Your method?
Fold and support.
Yeah, okay.
Fold, and then I just put it in my mouth.
Yeah, okay.
I fold and support.
I kind of eat like a sandwich almost.
A little bit.
They're the little floppy.
You can roll it into a fruit roll up if you like.
A sandwich.
Like fold it and eat like a sandwich.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were like folding your sandwiches in half. I feel like you don't need that much support.
We've completely lost Tyler here.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's just answering emails.
The Blue Jays just made like one of the biggest trades ever.
What is it?
Oh, they got Dalton Varsho from the Diamondbacks.
Position?
Outfielder.
Okay.
Legit. Had a WAR last year of 4.9. Only one Blue Jay had a better WAR than that.
What is a WAR? Sorry.
Wins above replacement. So he contributed to 4.9 wins last year. Wow. Only Manoah was better on the Jays roster. They traded Gabby Moreno, number 1 catching prospect.
The catcher.
That's surprising.
And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And I'm so sad.
Lourdes?
Oh, this sucks.
Oh, I love
that. That seems very big.
That's a big trade.
Wow.
Their number 1 prospect and like fan favorite key part.
So what is your first thoughts reaction then?
I'm so sad they traded. This would be like if the Oilers traded, oh boy, I don't even know who, but it's almost not quite Nuge, but like almost Nuge. Yeah, it'd be like if the Oilers traded Nuge.
Liam, what is this in soccer words?
I have I don't know any of those players.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm surprised they traded the catching prospect.
Like, but so like, I thought it was just going to be Moreno for Varsho. And I was like, shit, that's a good deal. Like he's the best defensive outfielder in baseball.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, so was there an issue with the Jays outfield this season? Because now they've traded Hernandez, right?
Yep.
And Gurriel. So now the only outfielder left is Springer. So you said the guy they got is an outfielder. So that'll obviously replace one. So who's the third? It's great. They don't have Randall Grichuk anymore.
No. They traded him a while ago. It's their outfield next year will be.
Is Bradley still around so that our friend Bearded Brad's jersey will still stay relevant?
Anyways, you can go back to hockey.
For the kids' squad.
Tyler's really in his feelings right now.
WAR thing in hockey as well.
There's WAR. It's just not as valid. It's not as accurate as baseball.
Good. Thank you.
I never knew what that meant. WAR.
What is it good for?
What is it good? Nothing.
There you go. We did it. We did it, Liam. Thank you. All right.
There's a guy in our TikTok comment section who would always bring up Nurse's WAR to me. He's like, his WAR sucks from Google last year. I'm like, I don't care.
It was, I promise this will be my last non-Oilers topic until the end.
Okay.
Boys Meets World. Have you ever seen the clip where they're doing karaoke and they sing WAR? If you haven't seen it, look it up at home. It is so funny. I can't remember what the main character's, Corey's, like his real name is something Stevens, I think.
We'll just call him Corey.
Yeah, Corey. It's very funny. Go check that out.
Go check out Boy Meets World. You can find a DVD box set or something somewhere.
It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, there you go.
Or YouTube, where you can watch Oilers Nation every day, Monday to Friday, and on game days, but not next week.
They brought back a spinoff for that show.
Of Oilers Nation every day?
Well, I mean, we got a few different ones that's coming, right? So,
all right, let's get back to a little bit of Oilers talk. Tyler's in his feelings in the corner. Jay's trade. go check out bluejaysnation.com. They'll have all the coverage and breakdown there. The next thing I want to talk about, the Oilers are playing the Canucks tonight. It is their last game before the Christmas break. New lines, kind of, because Ryan McLeod is back from having an ankle injury. Missed him. He hasn't played since that game against the New York Rangers. So today we've got Hyman, McDavid, Puljujarvi, Fogel, Draisaitl, Yamo, Janmark, Nuge, Kostin, Holloway, McLeod, Ryan as your forward group. Liam, what do you think of that?
I love it. I think it's awesome. I think I've been kind of on like this to put the spine down the middle for a while now, and it just makes them look so much better, and so much more dangerous. Like that fourth line to me is just as good as a third line. Like maybe you want a bit of an upgrade on Derek Ryan, but also like Derek Ryan knows how to put the puck in the net. Like he can play.
He's got 4 goals this year.
Yeah, and what is it now? I think it's like 7 years in a row. He's had 10 or more goals in the league.
He's a solid player.
He's a good player.
He's just not a good centerman anymore.
No. Like he
can take the draws, but then he just moves over.
Yeah,
against Florida last.
But yeah, like it's a great look for the team right now. And we were talking about it today on the other show that even without Evander Kane, it looks pretty dangerous still. And when you put Evander Kane in, it just kind of slots that whole left side down a little bit. And then you can kind of decide what you want to do with Holloway at that point. But Oilers are going to be dangerous. Like every line you look at there for me is probably better than the line they're competing against, if that makes sense.
And the thing I just really like is that they gave Draisaitl and McDavid their run. They're like, all right, they had whatever that was, 5, 6, 7 games together. The team's better when they're apart.
Yep.
We saw it against Dallas, which arguably I thought was one of the Oilers' best performances in quite some time. And that was, like Liam said, having the 3 stacked up on top of each other. Because no matter what Vancouver throws at them tonight, they're not going to have an easy time.
No, not at all. Like what was that left wing at Vancouver have? Joshua? Is that his name?
Dakota Joshua.
Yeah. Like is that the guy that Jack Campbell hit in game 1?
Might have been.
That was big. Hopefully we can see that tonight from Skinner or Campbell coming off the bench and boom.
Lay him out.
Yeah, but
toss a bow out there maybe.
Yeah. But
please don't have Campbell have to come off the bench.
Yeah, we hope that Campbell doesn't have to come off the bench unless he does a like a John Scott situation. You know,
there you go.
Yeah,
right.
Look.
Just jumps in there. Or I guess who was the other guy on the? I don't remember what that guy's name even was. The Oilers tried to sign him. What was that guy's name? Tyler, help me.
Ryan Reeves?
No. The guy who signed the big ticket in Toronto, played half a year.
David Clarkson.
David Clarkson.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy. That would have been nice. But overall, Oilers looking dangerous.
Dan, what do you think about the line combos?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have hit on it. It's just it feels like this lineup is able to exhale a little bit and go back to what we should be doing, which is clicking on all cylinders and having the next line come out be able to create just as much chance as the next or the one that was before it. So yeah, this team feels better when we have the centerman. I like that line from Liam, the spine up the middle. That's a good team for us.
Tyler, you've been asking for those two to be split up for a while. You got to be thrilled with this. At least 2 games in a row now.
Yeah, like I was happy last game when I saw they were split up. I just think you make like those two guys are so impactful on their own. Mm-hmm. And I think it's almost like one of those things where when you play them together in short spurts, dynamite, right? It's like your favorite dessert. You get it every once in a while and you're like, oh, unbelievable. But if you were to eat it for every meal every day for a week, by the end of it, you'd be like, oh, this sucks now. And I never want to touch it again. And the analogy I'm making is McDavid and Draisaitl, do they make each other a little bit better? Yeah. And I think if you throw them out there for the final 5 minutes of a game when you're down by 1, it's great. Power play, awesome. Yeah, after a PK, sure. But when you play them together shift after shift, I think you hurt your long-term ability to build up a sustainable forward group that can win long stretches of games, right? You need multiple lines going. There's some nights McDavid's having a night off. It rarely happens, but it happens. There's nights when Draisaitl's off. When you split them up, you just need one of them rolling to take over that hockey game. I like splitting them up.
I think just to piggyback off that too, like you said, like those guys coming out and like right after a penalty kill, for example, like that causes the other team to go into like a little bit of chaos because now they have to think like, okay, well, who are we putting out against them? And like, it just, you're not expecting it all the time where, like you said, like you can almost game plan against just playing against that top line. And obviously 2 of the best players in the league, like they're hard to game plan against, but the others can make it a little bit more difficult by just not playing them together all the time.
If you're looking for some plans, Liam, might I suggest you check out our friends at Tourism Jasper. They've got some great deals in Jasper this weekend, including half price lift tickets with the Marmot Escape card. The best deal in the Canadian Rockies is back for 2022, what's left anyway, and 2023. Save 50% off regular price adult, senior, student, and youth lift tickets every day, all season with no blackout dates. That also gives you up to 50% off lift tickets at partner ski areas and up to 30% off your accommodation in Jasper. Ooh. Check it out. We're also going to be down in Jasper at the end of January for the pond hockey tournament. Sign up for a team. Sign up. It's a great weekend out at the JPL. It's beautiful. The Jasper Park Lodge. We went last year. Can't wait to go again this year.
JPL. There is nowhere else like it.
It's fantastic. It's beautiful.
Unbelievable spot. It's like a whole new world over there.
It is.
To be honest.
Lovely.
I love it.
It is lovely. So check out all the deals they've got going on at jasper.travel. One thing I want to talk about here before we get to a preview of tonight's game is Jack Campbell. Tyler, you pointed this out on Oilers Nation every day. Working with some new pads. No stone being left unturned for our guy Soup as he looks to get his game back.
Yeah, he came out today wearing some gear, and a couple of people had good analysis on that, which I can pass along. The first is an account called Oil in Goal, who said Campbell is testing a full set of Brian's genetic equipment, genetic spelled G-Netik. Pretty cool. This is a significant change with the Brian's gear being a lot stiffer, which should help kick rebounds further from the net. Gregor followed it up and said Kevin Woodley mentioned this a few times. Campbell was one of the few goalies, maybe the only one, who was using what they describe or call soft pads. Interesting stuff.
I wonder why he was using those soft pads. I wonder what advantage he thought he was getting to wearing those over everybody else. Cause you feel like if
creature comfort.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Just goalies are weirdos.
But if every other goalie in the league is wearing hard pads, how is maybe they haven't. He just
be different, Liam.
Wanted to.
Dare to be different.
I think it maybe helped with his mobility and stuff, right? He plays like a small goalie, so you need to make up for it with quickness. So you use lighter, softer pads and you move better.
Which is interesting because he's not a small dude. We're not talking about Darren Pang here. We're talking about a guy who's 6'3".
I posted that tweet on Instagram. We got an interesting comment from Andy Rue, and he says, very interesting. Campbell's always had a tough time with stiffer equipment. That was mainly the reason he had a bit of a downfall early in Dallas. Once he got to LA, they went back with the softer, flexible materials he had success with. Brian's is a very good happy medium, I find, as I use them, and they're my favorite. A good balance between rigidity and flexibility, especially for someone who's used a more flexible pad. Hope he finds success learning to use them.
There you go. Soup, no stone left unturned. Dan, your thoughts?
Hey, it was something that people on this very podcast have been asking for, seeing him with his equipment and making him, he makes himself smaller. I would love to hear Rick's excitement about it. He's not on the pod today, of course, but that's been something that we've been asking for a while. So I do really hope that it is something that kind of unlocks a new Jack Campbell. How exciting would that be going into the new year? And we've got a brand new Jack Campbell fighting back against Skinner for the starting job.
And as a programming note, we kicked Rick off the podcast because he praised the Oilers after the loss to Anaheim.
Yeah, we couldn't stand.
We couldn't have that.
The Oilers Nation Radio Department of Podcast Safety suspends Rick one podcast for his comments on the Anaheim game.
Yep.
Wow. More analysis from Tyler there than we've gotten from the entire Department of Player Safety this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's tough, but fair.
Yeah.
It's tough, but fair.
It's fair to be tough.
All right. I want to look ahead tonight at the game against Vancouver. This is the last game the last game before the Christmas break. I mean, it's a short break for the boys. They play tonight. It's the 23rd. They're back at it on the 27th against the Flams. Is anybody nervous about tonight's game just because this is the one where guys tend to look at the flight going home rather than what's getting done on the ice?
I mean, the Oilers have made me nervous every single game this season.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what? That's fair.
But I don't know, Friday night, Rogers Place, the kids are in town. Bring on the Canucks. I think they'll do fine tonight. It is worrying, some of the stats we read off on the other show too. I was like, what's that name? Chris D'Elia. Is that his name? Or is that the comedian?
You're thinking of Colin D'Elia?
Yeah, Chris D'Elia is the comedian.
Yeah. Colin D'Elia, second start of the season. Vancouver have been absolutely leaking goals, allowed 5 goals in 3 straight games. Everything seems to be going wrong for this team. I know they won yesterday, but The odds are stacked against them. That's the worrying part, is what Oilers are going to show up. I think it's a lot different than what it was going into the Anaheim game, because they just had like a bit of an awkward loss where they should have won that game, right? You have the goal disallowed for offside, the Nurse blunder, and then you lose in a shootout, and then to go and play Anaheim, like, kind of felt like everything was just going wrong for them in those two games. But now you have that big win on Wednesday.
Huge win.
A bit more spark in the team, like McLeod's back. Like, I think they'll be okay tonight.
If they play like they did on Wednesday against Dallas, they're going to be fine. Was any worries in the last game leading into the break?
Just a little bit because of how inconsistent the Oilers have been as of late. So it's not really anything to do with the Christmas break coming. I'm just hoping they can just be a little more consistent going from the win against Dallas into this game against Vancouver, especially with the lines changed a bit. Like I just hope for a consistent, complete performance. I hope that's, I don't know if that's a lot to ask for.
Ty?
So my take on it today, because I was asked about this when I was doing a radio hit, was like, why do they play down? And I kind of said, is it fair to describe the Oilers as a reactionary team?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think so.
probably.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They wade their way into games. They feel out the other team a little bit. And then it's almost feels like on nights they'll go, okay, does this team want to play run and gun? Because we'll play run and gun if they want to. Or does this team want to just slow it down and just play like dump and chase kind of hockey? Because we'll do that too. And it just feels like they go into a game being like, well, we don't know how we're going to play tonight. We'll just see how those guys bring it, and we'll just try to match it. And if they figure out that, hey, no, if we happen to the other team and don't let them happen to us, that's an old line one of my coaches in minor hockey would say. If you come out there and you're like, we are going to force our style of play. Yeah. We are going to hit you with our quick speed, transition hockey, run and gun guy. We're going to win more games than we lose. And once they figure that out, I think it'll unlock a new level. Until then, games like tonight against Vancouver are going to continue to make me nervous.
I think that another part of it is they got to beat D'Elia early. If it goes on where he makes it through a period or so and the game, the game's still scoreless, maybe that's when I think that they start to get in their own head a little bit. And I would just rather I've got a bet tonight through Betway plus 725 for the Oilers to win all three periods.
Why not?
I need them to do that. Not just for me to win some money. Of course I want some money.
Who doesn't?
But just like you said, they need to don't let Vancouver even try to dictate the play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Take it. Dan, what are your thoughts? Last game before the Christmas break.
I think I'm still kind of with Liam. I think you'd be crazy not to be a little bit concerned that this is the way it's going, the way that this team starts. But you hope that a McLeod return can fire them up and that they're getting excited for the second half where, you've got a bunch of, or not a bunch of, but you've got a few teams that you expected to be higher up than they are, like the Colorado Avalanche and the Calgary Flames, for instance, which are kind of sitting in the same spot that the Oilers are. And so there's an opportunity for a lot of teams to make a move. And I think Edmonton is going to be one of those teams, and you're going to see it at some point. Hopefully this is a game where they can just continue to build off of what they did against Dallas.
And if I'm not mistaken, a win tonight would put them in a tie with Seattle, though Seattle does have games in hand. Yes, it does. So that would put them into third place instead of a wild card spot. Why not go into the Christmas break? Moving up in the standings. Come on.
Aren't they also tied in points with Colorado?
Yes, but I'm talking about the Pacific.
I know. I'm just saying, everyone's saying how crap the Oilers are and how consistent. They're tied in points with Colorado. It's not terrible.
Yeah, but the context there is Colorado's been missing their best player for a month.
There.
Well, it's been without Kane, to be fair.
He's not Nathan McKinnon.
That is true. That is true. Fine, Tyler. Always poo-pooing my parade, as they say.
Always poo-pooing, but I'm just throwing that out there.
Poo-pooing.
It's an important part of that
poo-pooing
number.
Babooey.
Mm-hmm. All right. I want to talk about a couple. Oh, just real quick. Score prediction. What do you got, Waz?
I'll go 4-2 Oilers.
How dare you? 4-2 win for me, Liam.
7-3 Oilers.
Good for you.
It.
6-2 Oilers.
Dan?
6-5 Canucks in overtime.
Dan.
Wow.
Why?
Hey, every time I pick the Oilers to lose, they win. So we got to stick to the method. You guys can yell at me every time. We'll keep this shtick going. It's good. It's good.
Dan, I like that you're different.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's what all of my family and all of my friends say too.
I'm not mad at you, Dan. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
You know?
Brings a little different flavor.
Are you thrilled? I'm not.
Today is December 23rd as we're recording. And if you're a Seinfeld fan, we had this on in the office the other day. It is Festivus. It is the time to air our grievances and our feats of strength. Just like we do in Hot Performers, we're going to just go through this real quick. We're going to start off with our veggies. Tyler, if you're going to air out one grievance on Festivus, what is the biggest annoyance for you over the last calendar year?
Yeah, I got a couple here, and they're both related to being at an Oilers game, because you got my brain thinking this on Oilers Nation every day, Bag Milk. Mm-hmm. One, people who get up out of their seats to like go to the concession of the bathroom in the middle of play. Have you never been anywhere in your life? Why would you think that's an okay thing to do? Mind blowing. And anyone who yells shoot while the Oilers are on the power play. You are sitting in the stands.
Maybe they should though.
You're sitting in the stands, having a beer, having your popcorn. I'm going to go with the 2 Hart Trophy winners on the ice. And I'm just going to say, I think I trust them on this one. I think they got it. Power play is pretty good.
Have you ever considered that you see something they don't?
I know I do, but I don't think others in the stands do.
Liam, air grievance out for us for Festivus. What do you got?
I am staying with what I said on the other show. The wave. Enough is enough.
How dare you?
Stop the wave.
It's a tradition.
It's for who? Not me.
Hockey fans.
I love the wave.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's just an Oilers thing
It's
right
just
now.
an Oilers thing. I don't know.
I love the wave.
Thing.
It sucks.
We did it at a Jays game in August.
I'm done
I
with
think
the
it's
wave.
a culture thing. You got to keep it around.
Nah,
I disagree with
It happens in Elks games, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, for
Never
the
go.
8 people there.
Oh, shots fired at the
Hey, no, that's a shot on the organization to figure out their shit. I want to love the Elks.
I love going to the Elks. I just never go. But yeah, the wave.
Waz, what do you got? What's an arrow to grievance for us?
I'll go. I mean, I know from the soccer world, but I'm going to bring up Cristiano Ronaldo fans because I don't think they're very smart when they think he's the greatest of all time.
Isn't this an Oilers?
Yes, I know, but I just bring up a random thing. Ronaldo fans.
Okay.
Yeah, not
Bonus grievance, Waz. There's one. Dan, what do you got? Arrow to grievance for us.
Well, my first grievance is going to be for Liam and all the people that complain about the wave. Like, why are we upset about the fans doing something and having some fun while the game is going on? Who cares?
Because it was 2-1 to the Anaheim Ducks and people were doing the wave, Dan.
And then we fought back, Liam.
And still
on the
lost.
power of the wave.
You're getting into Rick territory here, Dan.
What?
You're getting into Rick territory.
What I will say for Liam, though, is I appreciate a wave that is appropriate given the result on the board.
I will give them that. But I have been to too many games where I've seen the wave done when it's like 2-2, middle of the second or something.
I don't mind that.
No, I'm not with it. I think the Oilers have to be comfortably in a lead. And then you can have a little bit of fun. But until then, focus on the game, enjoy your popcorn, sing Let's Go Oilers every now and then. If you see the t-shirt toss, stand up, grab a t-shirt. I got 2 at the Anaheim game. Not to brag, but
t-shirt rich.
No, I gave one to the little boy next to me.
Good man.
And then,
good for you.
And then my dad got the other one, and why would we want it? So he just threw it back up in the air.
Sometimes they put gift cards in the shirt.
I know. I heard about that after. So,
I told him you gotta stick your finger in there.
I might have lost out on a gift card there, but this is what it is.
I actually have an Oilers related grievance.
Okay, well,
Go
It
ahead.
kind of goes back to last week. Something was annoying me on Oilers Twitter, and it was people who wanted Jay Woodcroft fired all of a sudden.
Yes, that
I'm
does
like,
make
that's
sense.
a bit reactionary. I know the Oilers haven't been perfect this year. He hasn't been perfect, but I don't think we need a coaching change. It's not going to happen. So, and it was kind of particularly involved because of how Jesse Puljujarvi is playing. So it's like, no, we should not fire Jay Woodcroft because certain players are not performing. That's just. I like Jay Woodcroft a lot. I think he's not been perfect this year, but I don't know. I think he's the right coach for us.
one thing that does annoy me actually is, and this isn't just an Oilers fan specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you really love player X. So to show your love for player X, you have to shit on player Y and talk about how player Y sucks.
Puljujarvi Yamamoto.
Exactly.
Just look what I do with Devin Score. You got to ride the waves. That's all you got to do with these other guys.
I don't think he's
ride the waves.
If riding you're calling it riding the wave, Liam. If that's I'm calling it you're laying face down at the bottom of an empty swimming pool.
Whatever it is.
Well, it's at least you're not dead if it's an empty swimming
What was the
pool.
last time he scored? Against Buffalo
He's
last
consistent.
I couldn't tell you.
year? It was.
Couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you a couple of times he almost scored and missed. But hey,
Good in the room, though.
Since we're celebrating Festivus, you can't air your grievances without a couple of feats of strength. Dan, what do you got? A feat of strength from the last 12 months.
well, I mean, for me personally, the Marcus Foligno, Ryan Reeves fight is one of my favorite fights. If you want to go check that out on hockeyfights.com, that was an amazing feat of strength. And now, of course, they are teammates, so it adds an element of excitement and intrigue there. But feats of strength, oh man. How about Darnell Nurse and all the criticism he's had to weather? And at the end of the day, he's still just our first defenseman. He's our number one guy, and he's going to be the horse that takes us through the rest. So I would say Darnell Nurse for taking on all this overwhelming criticism.
Waz, what do you got?
I'm going to go back to the playoffs, and I'm going to give a lot of love to all the Oilers fans during that playoff run. Not just like in the moss pit, just in general, the city was buzzing through between May and June. It was electric. It felt like time stopped for a bit. I know we got swept in the third round, but it was just a very enjoyable time. And just yesterday, I'm putting together like a year-end TikTok little montage of things that happened, and I was just getting a little emotional looking back at like how fun that playoff run was. That like patch between April to June, it was just a good time throughout the city. You know, I think it was after an Oilers win against Calgary, and you're just walking through downtown, and everyone's honking, everyone's just having a good time. It was just that energy, that space of time we had, and like between May and June, it was a good time to be in the city of Edmonton.
I had the Oilers playoff run on my feats of strength from my article today at Oilersnation.com. It's just, man, what a ride that was.
Yeah.
I think about, and every now and then I pull it up, the Connor OT winner against Calgary, just to hear the call again. It's the best. It's the best. We had so much fun. Liam? Feats of strength from the last 12 months.
Feats of strength. So that means like something good, right? Something fun, enjoyable. I'll just, my favorite sports moment ever was Game 7. So that would just be mine. The whole thing of just being at the game, honestly, like the build up for myself and the ride of actually like trying to get tickets. How I went from free tickets to like $1,600 tickets. Like it kind of went.
Wow. I don't know that you've ever said the number before.
Yeah, it was maybe it wasn't quite that high. I can't even remember. It was definitely not free. And then being there and then just like, it's the whole thing. Like my dad, like grabbing the guy next to him, and I'm pretty sure he didn't want to jump around and dance, but my dad like made him jump around and dance with him after me.
If you're not going to dance, then when are you going to dance?
And then just like the last 5 minutes after McDavid scored, while like the whole arena was just, the energy was crazy. Again, goosebumps thinking about it. Yeah. And then walking down the street to grab some drinks after, and everyone was just so pumped. Yeah. So yeah, just that whole day. Whatever day that was, it was awesome.
I just want to go on top of that real quick. Is also like how outside the Hall of Fame room, which is an absolute riot after a huge Oilers win in the playoffs. Like everyone was just having a good time. People were singing, people were chanting. It was just, I don't know. It's something like you can only experience like almost like feels like once in a lifetime. But it was just
or until this coming May.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, I hope it's not once.
Let's do it again.
Honorary shout out to that dude. You all seen the video that climbed up on that sign and then puked fireball everywhere. You only see that in the playoffs.
God.
They now have the triangle thing on top of that sign now. It's not a flat surface.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You think that'll stop?
I met a lot of friends in that little crowd. It was a good time.
Tyler Yaremchuk, feats of strength.
I had a 14-1 parlay earlier this year.
Ooh, nice.
So that's pretty strong of me.
Yep. Pumping your own tires.
I got a big one coming tonight too.
Hey, why not? Why not? What is that one? 550-1? Spicy. Getting dangerous on a Friday night.
Any Oilers related feats of strength from you?
Yeah, that parlay was an Oilers parlay. So there's that. I don't really have anything else, honestly. Like Connor McDavid doing his own stuff is like the ultimate hockey feat of strength. What do you have, Dan?
I was going to say that the Oilers have been doing a really good job with the pregame stuff, like the Ben Stelter Memorial, the Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor, the Indigenous night, and then that next gen night that happened with during the Ducks game. So the Oilers in-house production staff definitely gets one from me.
I mentioned that today, Dan, too, on Oilers Nation Every Day. Just like the in-game stuff the Oilers now do is phenomenal. Way better. And I specifically brought up the next gen where they did like the holiday thing with Hunter, and also the next gen announcer. I wish I could remember his name. Who announced the
Danny McCracken? I think it was.
Absolutely amazing job. Whatever his name was, he did an awesome job.
Power play.
Yeah, that was so funny. Just as like the game went on, this kid just gained more and more confidence, and then like all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's in a power play in a third. Like everyone's trying to get hyped, and he's like, power play. And
I love
the best. The best moment was, and I hope it got caught by a camera, but was when they were announcing that he was announcing the goal, and he went through the goal scorers, and then he went through the reverb of scored by Nurse, assisted by, and then he said the time, and he goes, "Oh wait, no, yeah," and then and then he cuts the microphone off. But it was just so good, just such a good little moment to have that in the arena.
There was also the kid too. I guess he was on the radio with I think it was Cam and Bob. It would have been that day. Yeah. And they put him on the camera, and he just stared at the camera until they turned it off. And then right at the end, like they were all in like his suit and everything, he looked very good. And then right at the end, he just put up a thumb and just, it was so funny. Just like on the screen, just stared at it, deadpan face, and then just.
Sometimes you just need to,
it's good thumbs up.
What else do you need?
Just want to add a little on to the top of that. The Oilers digital team also doing that separated birth thing that they've been doing all year. Just because it goes viral on social media, but at the same time, it's just a fun thing to like. Everybody loves it at Oilers games. Everybody's paying attention to the jumbotron. It was such a good idea, and it's impressive to like whoever like finds the people like that are separated birth or the lookalikes. Like that's impressive.
Mm. Oh, airing a grievance. Bring back the kiss cam. It's nonsense.
No,
Tyler wants to kiss Amber the game.
Dan,
kiss
you say no?
Dead. Kiss cam's dead.
Why?
We're done with it. I don't know. Like I think all the shticky stuff that we've done in the last few years, especially at NBA arenas with the fake proposals. And
those are dumb. But
they all do it around that kiss cam, and I don't know.
I'd like to see them spice up the kiss cam by putting two strangers up there.
Yeah,
let's get to know your neighbors a little bit.
Yeah.
What better way than a smooch? A friendly smooch.
I just think I like the look-alike thing. It's just funny when you see people who like really ham it up. Sometimes the guy like throws his. It's just funny. I like it. And but now they still try to force it. They're like, it's time for the fan cam, and it's like every whistle there's a fan cam.
I'm over the fan cam.
It's dumb.
Yeah. Well, when I was a little kid at Rexall Place, they used to have like, instead of just fan camming, they used to have highlights mixed in with like movie clips, and just it was way more fun than just showing random people who are not expecting to be on the jumbotron. The
Oil Kings do this funny bit where during the intermissions they film people eating throughout the game, and then they play it in reverse. Yeah. It's so fucking funny.
So one time I went to an Anaheim Ducks game when I was at Disneyland. It was Anaheim versus the Islanders, and I kid you not, there was this guy in the stands. He was like on his own. There was obviously no one there because it's Anaheim and the Islanders. And
there's so much buildup.
Was just reading the newspaper, and they just put him on the jumbotron, and they just left him on, and he was like during the intermission, and then he like gradually went into the game. He never noticed. It took him forever to get realized.
Well, then you'll appreciate
everything is wrestling.
Once upon a time, when the Edmonton Roadrunners were here during one of the lockouts, I went to a game with my old man. I thought it was boring and I fell asleep. So they had me sleeping on the jumbotron for probably a good 10, 15 seconds.
A team led by Rocky Thompson didn't pique your interest.
It wasn't really inspiring me in that moment.
That was the only time. That was the only face reveal.
Yep. If you were there, if you know, you know. Just to wrap it up, my feat of strength has to be, I'm on brand, baby, always. 753 games with the Edmonton Oilers. He's in his 12th season. He is the longest serving Edmonton Oiler, and I couldn't be happier that my dude is just having an amazing start to his campaign. 34 games played, 18 goals, 23 assists for 41 points for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Puts him into top 10 in league scoring as of right now, and I'm just super pumped for him. Yeah! Any final feats of strength, boys, before we move on?
You got enough room on this couch, Was?
Yeah.
Was is really spreading out over there.
Oh, yeah. I love it. You gotta.
I see that you do. I see that.
Me too.
Can I give a shout out to Mike Sobel?
Can you please move over?
Save it for hot and cold performers.
Oh, okay.
Waz, it's like a tiny two-person couch, and Waz is sitting in the middle, like fully spread open.
Like I appreciate sitting close to Liam as well. I get
I didn't
it.
say anything. It was like, okay.
Because you gradually kept moving and moving. I was like, eventually I'll
I wanted to
realize.
be more in the camera. I don't
And
know.
then you elbowed me twice during my grievances. So that's my final grievance. Go ahead. Sorry, Big Mill.
Real quick, guys, we got 4 questions asked the idiots. We're going to just rip through these before we get to hot and cold performers. And we're going to wrap it off and get off into our holiday.
Or we're going to pause for an ad first.
For our friends at Soho, go check them out at Soho YEG. Tyler, what is the game day special?
The game day special is half price chicken wings, $8 for a pint and a slice, and deals on Molson and Coors Light. Plus, the game's always on a 100-inch screen at the restaurant.
There you go.
And that slice is well worth
The
it.
size of your head.
Yeah.
It's legit.
It's bigger than the beer.
Soho YEG, go check it out. Check out the menu there down on Jasper Ave. Make it a part of your game day experience, or just take the fam down there. Get on out there. First up, Dan, you were going to be up first. Oh, we just did. You know what? I'm going to take this question off. We've now got 3. I've killed you. We've already done our Festivus grievances. Nation Dan, you get to bring 1 current Oiler, 1 past Oiler, and 1 individual of your choice to enjoy a pizza at Soho and a jug of Nation beer. Who are you bringing? Who's your group of 4?
The current Oiler has to be Brad Malone, so I can stay on brand there. Well, I guess he's not currently an Oiler, but you get the idea. What was a past Oiler now?
Past Oiler.
I have to go with Chris Pronger. I know I mentioned it earlier in the episode, but definitely going with Chris Pronger because I want that apology and I want it in person. And then the random person that I'm going to bring is it's a great question. I am going to bring Ryan Reeves to the party just because he seems like a fun guy and I'd love to hang out with him.
Tyler.
Okay.
Current Oiler, past Oiler, just random person.
Okay. Current Oiler I'm bringing I'll bring Draisaitl. I think he's got a good dry sense of humor, and I think I'd get along really well with him.
I agree.
So I'm going to bring Leon. I'm going to bring from my past Oiler. I want to go with someone that's just like, a little bit different. I don't want to go super mainstream. That's why I'm kind of struggling with this one. My random person, I'm going to bring our new intern, Gavin. I think he'd get a real kick out of it. I'd like to spend more time with him.
That's
so
nice.
He's my random person. And my past Oiler, you know what? I want unfiltered stories from the old days.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring someone from those teams in the 80s. I'll bring Kevin Lowe. I think he'd know how to have a good time. And he'd have stories from a lot of different eras. So I'm going Kevin Lowe,
that's a good
Leon Draisaitl, and Gavin the intern.
Liam, past Oiler, current Oiler, random person.
All right. Current Oiler, Stu.
Sure.
Great time.
Mm-hmm.
Past Oiler, I'll bring Matt Hendricks. I think he'd be a good one. He seems like one of those guys, very down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bring my dad.
Sure. Dad will enjoy the whole thing.
Not exactly a random person. You do know him. But I guess I said Gavin. Yeah, good point.
It's right there.
Yeah.
He is. He's just sitting outside the door.
Staring at the window.
Was past Oiler, current Oiler, and random person for a little pizza party at Soho.
Current Oiler, I will go with Ryan McLeod. Nice guy. Fun guy. Past Oiler, I'm going to go very basic and honest. I'm going to go Wayne Gretzky.
You would also have stories.
Yes. I've always wanted to meet Wayne Gretzky, so that'd be awesome. And then random person, kind of random. I don't know. My buddy Brett, he's always a good time. Always seems to have a story on him and get a lot out of people. So
my pizza party group is, I actually really like Tyler's answer about a past Oiler. So you took Kevin Lowe. I'm going to go Mac T.
Oh yeah.
Mac T would have some weird stories to tell. He was GM for like 6.5 minutes. He was the coach for 100 years. He played here. Like, what hasn't that guy done?
He'd be great.
50-50 guy.
50-50
I've had
guy.
coffee with him.
Announcer guy.
Yep.
He was on the panel there for a minute.
He's been everywhere.
He's been everywhere, man. My current Oiler, I'd have to pick Nuge. Like, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then my random person, I just think Lionel Messi would really like to have a pizza with me.
I thought you were going to say Nuge's brother.
Nice show. Wow. I respect that.
Yep.
So I think this needs to become a bit where we just make tables at the cafeteria and see where everybody wants to sit.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, remember that meme?
Question number 2, ask the idiots for our friends at Soho. Who is your favorite ever Oiler prospect at the World Juniors, Waz?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, and Cody also adds, can I interest anybody in a slightly used Curtis Hamilton? Who is his answer?
Favorite Oilers prospect out of World Juniors.
If I can jump in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Eberle's just the layup.
Yep. Easy one.
Oh boy.
This is tough. I want to go. It's easy to go like, oh, right now, Reed Schaefer, but obviously I'm going to go Darnell Nurse back when he won gold with Connor.
Before Connor was an Oilers prospect.
So,
Oh man.
Liam,
Can we go to Dan? I got to think.
your favorite Oiler at the World Juniors. Doesn't have to be Canada. mind you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the easy answer is going to always be Jordan Eberle. But I'm trying to think, like there was, what was the last goalie that we had? Did Olivier go? Olivier Waugh? Was he there for a World Juniors?
Yeah.
I was really hopeful for him in his year. I think he got one start in that whole shebang. But yeah, like I'm trying to, like, I can't think of an Oiler before that. Liam, you have yours?
I was going to say Olivier Waugh barely played because he played with that Byzantine. Mark
Byzantine, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he had a tough go at the World Juniors, didn't he?
That's always the thing about goalies at the World Juniors is you hear these names at Christmas. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of,
well, it's like that 2005 World Juniors team, which everyone is like regarded as the greatest ever. And the goalie was Jeff Glass. Like
if you're actually like asking me my favorite World Juniors performance of all time, it's Jordan Tutu. The Tutu train in Halifax. So no, I was from Halifax. I lived in Halifax for a minute. Yes. But the Tutu performance, it's hard to say an Oiler because I mean there wasn't a ton of them, but I would say Tutu.
I'm gonna go with Oscar Klefbom because when it was in Edmonton, like when it was at Rexall, he was on that team, and I remember going to a game there, and he was like the only player I really knew, to be honest.
I also think, wouldn't Yak have been in that year too?
Yep, probably.
Yeah, but he would have been undrafted, I guess, right?
Yeah,
my favorite World Juniors player was Braden Shen. That was like the first World Juniors I watched, and it was that like crazy game against Russia, which they ultimately lost, but they had that big third period come
My
back.
favorite random World Junior player is Chris DiDomenico. He was on the team that year when they had that crazy comeback against Team USA on New Year's Eve when they were down 3-0 and Tavares just took over the game. But there was a moment there where DiDomenico, I think he scored. Then when they were going by the bench, he got high sticked by an American, and that power play turned around the game. And he played on the team for like 2 years too. He was good.
My favorite Oilers prospect at the World Juniors, and it's just funny because Canada didn't even do well that year, is Nuge because of how he got there. He had already played like 2 or 3 years in the show before going over. I just thought that was so funny because it was in the lockout year.
Yeah. I remember the one year Dougie Hamilton was on the team, but so was his brother Freddie Hamilton. Or Fred, I can't remember which one they called him.
It's time to go by Doug now.
Yeah. And he just like went off them so much and like how good they were both going to be in the NHL. And yeah, Fred didn't make it too far.
I also just one more, our boy Klim Kostin.
Yeah.
He made some waves at the World Juniors as he was the captain of the Team Russia. There's that photo of him that goes around all the time, plugging his ears.
Yeah.
I love that. Klim
He's a fan
Kostin.
favorite everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
He's the best. I love it. Last question. Ask the idiots. Let's wrap this up. So stupid. Liam, which of your fellow nation staffers are you choosing to be by your side during a zombie apocalypse, and why are you picking them?
Oh boy. My fellow nation staffers. Okay. I will go with Jay. I feel like Jay, he's done a lot of good in his life. I feel like he could get us out of some sticky situations. And I will go with, I'll just go Tyler. We're probably going to be together at one point anyway in the apocalypse. I have no choice but to be stuck together.
Liam picking 2.
I thought you said 2.
No, just 1.
Oh,
What was the question then?
Which nation staffer are you choosing to be by your side during a zombie apocalypse, and why?
I said 2.
No, I think I roll with, oof. I'm torn. I feel like I have to show my cards. I'm just not sure if there's anyone at the office who is great in this kind of a situation. So I want to go just
We're all very soft.
Yeah. So like, I feel like I just want to go with someone who, you know, if there's a quick situation where we both need to be on the same page quickly, I want that. So I'm picking either you or Liam.
Nice.
BM or Liam. It's one of the two. Flip a coin. One of you I throw off the roof. You're done. The other one, we ride or die.
Yeah. Yep.
Streets
Dan,
are tough.
who's your nation staffer partner in the zombie apocalypse?
I'm going to pick Ronnie because Ronnie just knows what to do in the situation.
And she'll probably build you a way out of the situation.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
true.
handy.
Waz, who you got? Nation staffer that you're taking into the zombie apocalypse.
Probably Jay, just because he's tall.
Yeah, he
You
does.
want a big force in front of these zombies, so I'll just use Jay.
Jay, do you think he'd want to be around you after what you did to him at the Christmas
No, exactly.
party?
So this is
Hey,
kind of
he
like,
might throw you at the wolves,
Yeah.
my friend.
he might as well. He might actually. Yeah, probably.
I'm going off the board a little bit. I'm picking Brownlee. He's terrifying. I think the zombies will be terrified of Robin Brownlee. He's got that old man strength. He's got dad strength. He's got years of wisdom. He's got that crazy look in his eye.
I feel Wanye would be very crafty.
Now, Wanya leave you hanging, man.
Yeah,
He's out there.
okay, actually, good point.
Yep, he is out. There you go. For our friends at Soho, Ask the Idiots, slide on into my DMs. Hit us up with a question. The boys haven't seen any of these. Real quick, let's wrap up the podcast with some hot and cold performers. Again, for our friends at Tourism Jasper, go check out everything at jasper.travel. And if you're looking for a last minute Christmas gift, Tyler, I know you are. Why not join us and our friends at AMA Travel in Toronto for a nation vacation to Toronto? We're going to watch the Oilers and Leafs on Hockey Night in Canada. We're going to be watching in a box. We're staying in a beautiful hotel in downtown Toronto. Check out the details at nationgear.ca. We start off with our veggies, Dan, and you are up first. Who is your cold performer of the week for our friends at Tourism Jasper?
My cold performer of the week is going to go to, I don't know. I'm in a very, very good and happy mood. I will give it to, trying to think, I don't know. I've got nothing negative. The Rogers Wrapped in Red event. There you go. You get my cold performer of the week.
Oh, that's cold.
Tyler, don't do it.
Don't do what?
I don't want you to do
Falling
it.
too quickly.
What don't you want me to do?
Oh my God.
The Rogers Wrapped in Red event. The Rogers Wrapped in Red event. The Rogers Wrapped in Red event.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
It was so nice of us to give them extra airtime for that commercial.
Was your cold performer of the week?
A cold performer of the week. Can I give it to myself?
Yes.
For my performance at the Christmas party? Just a little bit, yeah. I think I could have done better in terms of gift giving, and yeah,
For sure. Well, gift giving, you didn't buy anything.
Yeah,
so.
anything above nothing would have been.
I could have done a lot better.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Liam, your cold performer of the week?
Movie remakes.
Okay.
I watched Lightyear the other day, and it wasn't as good as Toy Story. And then I also watched Hobbit, as we know about. And, you know, it's just stick with the originals, people. We like them a lot.
What the hell is going on?
Joke is what it is.
Ooh, you got 2 buttons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2
Toss
buttons.
is a joke.
Tyler, your cold performer of the week?
The new feature on Twitter that shows how many views your tweet has.
It's unnecessary.
Good shout.
All it does now is like, if I have a tweet that I'm like, ooh, that banged, that got like 300 likes. And then I'll look and be like, oh, 300,000 people saw it. That ratio sucks.
Yeah.
That means 297,700 people, whatever your Amtrak math. That means a lot of people didn't like it. I don't like it. It spreads negativity.
Are you thrilled?
Elon.
I'm not.
And also, just as a secondary thing, if you wanted to see the impressions on your tweets, you could just pull up the analytics anyway.
Well, yeah, like it's just now like a public thing. It's so dumb.
It's unnecessary.
I love that everybody else can see it too. I can see everybody else's. I wouldn't mind it for myself.
Yeah.
My cold performer of the week is, you know what? Edmonton drivers, you're all fucking madmen out there. It's snowing. It's icy. It's ridiculous that you're driving at highway speeds on the white mud when you can't even pass anybody. Slow down, man. Take your time. You don't got to be nowhere. It's Christmas, baby.
I'm upset.
All right, let's end off the podcast with the bright sides of the week. Tyler, you're up first. I'm just going to start with you. Let's go with your hot performer of the week.
Shout out to the guys at Barn Burner, our Flames Nation show that goes every day. They did something called the Spirits of the Holidays on their show the other day. And in their hour and a half show, they put back 10 cocktails.
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
Got just obliterated on the air. And it was hilarious. Not at all like out of line or anything like that. It was just flat out funny. And it made me think of the time in LA when we tried to do a podcast hammered. And boy, was it awful. So bad, it's now known as the Lost Tapes. So shout out to the guys at Barn Burner who had a great holiday show. It was hilarious. And also just a little stick tap to them for keeping it on the rails like they did despite being loaded.
We the best.
If you want to hear the lost episode of Better Late Than Never, you can send me and Tyler each $500.
I would release it for that much because I don't think it was anything that bad.
No, we're sloppy mess.
Yeah, but I'd sell it for $500.
We thought we were hilarious though, by the way, just as an insider thing. Again, $500 to both me and Tyler. You can also send Jay's $500 to also me and Tyler. Mm-hmm. There you go. Thank you. Liam, your hot performer of the week.
Hot performer of the week goes to everybody who listens to this podcast or real life or anything that we have here. A lot of people were thanking us today in our YouTube chat for putting on our show, Oilers Nation Every Day, but without everybody else, we wouldn't have shows. So Merry Christmas to everyone, and thank you all for listening.
Feeling hot.
Why'd you laugh?
It's just heartwarming. I loved it.
I know. It was nice. This likes to be my jokey segment, but not today. That was not a joke. That was very serious.
Congratulations. Well done.
Was your hot performer of the week?
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. It's going to be Mike Sobel Global for like finishing off a 25-year career as a weatherman. And it was an emotional morning. Like they were all crying on Global, which is fair enough. Then my mom started crying. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Everyone's getting fucking. So shout out to Mike Sobel. Great career.
It's getting hot in here.
Nation Dan, your hot performer of the week.
Well, it was announced on December the 8th, and it's where our funds went from the brunch for Ben. But I just want to give a shout out and a hot performer of the week to the Ben Stelter Fund, which is now currently sitting at $64,000. And that's without the $100,000 that McDavid and his team have committed to donating there as well. So wonderful to see the Ben Stelter Fund finally be realized. It was something that we had heard about for a while and had been kind of waiting and sitting on, hoping that we would have it in time for the brunch for Ben. It wasn't the case, but it's ready and it's there to go. And so if you want to check that out, you head over to them on social media, give them a follow at the Ben Stelter Fund on your socials. And so Ben Stelter Fund gets my hot performer of the week.
Just to wrap it up, I am going to say all of the wonderful staff here at Nation HQ. There's a lot of people that work in this building that you probably don't know. And I think that's an interesting thing where there's just a lot going on behind the scenes. So shout out to everybody here that puts in all the work. And just to piggyback off Liam a little bit, thank you guys for all consuming. There's no point in us sitting in this beautiful studio that Tyler designed and created with love if it wasn't for you guys all consuming the content. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. Thank you very much.
This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm fly. You ain't because you not.
For our friends at DoorDash, Oodle Noodle, Tourism Jasper, Soho, and AMA Travel, and Betway. Thank you for listening to Oilers Nation Radio. This is the last episode. We'll be back, though, on Tuesday. We're going to preview the game against the Flams. And until then, Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great and safe holiday. We will be back after a huge Oilers win tonight against the Canucks. Let's go.
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out the listeners.
Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, delivered by DoorDash. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.
See you, Dave.